It all started on the hottest day ever, when the sand was so warm it made my toes do a funny dance in my sandals. And the pyramids looked like giant golden triangles, just sitting there under the sun, like they were guarding something very old. And I was there with my grandpa on a trip to Egypt, holding a water bottle that felt more like soup, when I wandered off a little and found myself staring up at the biggest statue I'd ever seen, the Sphinx. She was huge and ancient, with the body of a lion and the face of someone who looked like they knew every secret in the world. And just as I was about to take a picture, I heard a snort behind me and a voice go, "Not bad for a beginner, but she's more than just a statue, you know." And I turned around and saw a camel, but not just any camel. He had big curious eyes, a slightly crooked grin, and the smoothest voice, like he'd been practicing for a movie trailer his whole life. You can talk!" I gasped, dropping my camera, and he nodded like it was no big deal, then knelt down and said, "Hop on, we've got riddles to solve." And even though I'd only just met him, I climbed right on because, well, what else do you do when a talking camel invites you on a mystery adventure under the Egyptian sun? We trotted toward the Sphinx and she slowly blinked her giant stone eyes and asked her riddles. Something about morning legs, evening legs, and I barely remembered it from a book at school. But before I could panic, the camel whispered, "It's man, crawling as a baby, walking as an adult, using a cane when old." And I shouted the answer, and boom! A secret panel opened beneath the Sphinx's paw, and we slid right inside like explorers in a treasure movie. Down there, under layers of sand and secrets, we found glowing symbols on the wall, hieroglyphics. And the camel said, "This isn't just history, it's a language of puzzles." And suddenly, the walls lit up with questions, pictures of falcons, suns, rivers, and snakes. And I had to figure out what they meant to open the next door. We made our way through passage after passage, solving logic puzzles with balanced scales, matching shadow shapes, and even guessing the names of ancient gods from half-erased symbols. And every time I got stuck, the camel gave me a nudge, not the answer, just enough of a clue to keep my brain buzzing. And I realized this wasn't just about old ruins, it was about thinking differently, about how stories and symbols can hold knowledge if you know how to look. One room had a floor that was actually a giant maze of tiles, and if I stepped on the wrong one, it glowed red. But if I remembered what Ra, the sun god, represented, and which direction the sun rises, I could follow the light path to the other side. And each puzzle made me feel like I was leveling up in some ancient brain game. The camel told me stories as we walked of Anubis, the jackal-headed guardian of the dead, of Thoth, the god of wisdom and writing, who once played a game of questions with the stars, of children long ago who passed tests just like these to prove they were ready to learn the true lessons of the world, not just facts, but patterns, secrets, and meanings hiding in plain sight. And I started to feel like I was one of them. We finally reached a chamber where the ceiling looked like the night sky, covered in glittering star maps and spinning wheels, with zodiac signs and moon phases, and one last riddle appear. What opens every door but belongs to no one? What speaks in silence and is understood across time? I stared at it, heart thumping, and then whispered, "Wisdom," and the whole room lit up like dawn. And the camel smiled proudly and said, "Now you get it." When we climbed back out, the Sphinx gave us a tiny nod, and I swear the wind carried a voice that said, "You've remembered what others forgot." And then everything was quiet, like the desert was holding its breath. Grandpa found me a few minutes later, right where he'd left me. And when I tried to tell him what happened, he just laughed and said, "Sounds like the heat's making you see things." But the camel was still there, munching on dates like nothing special had happened. And he winked at me before trotting off into the dunes, humming something in ancient Egyptian. And I never saw him again, but sometimes when I'm stuck on a riddle or a hard math problem, I hear his voice in my head saying, "Look again, think sideways," and I smile. Because once upon a time I solved the riddles of the Sphinx with a talking